Hello and welcome to Knowledge Trains. Alright, so this is Windows Admin Center, and you can see I have Server Manager, I have Computer Management, I have Failover Cluster Manager, and Hyperconverged Cluster Manager. So we can do a lot of things here. The very first thing that you see is Overview. You can restart a server, you can shut down a server, and then you can enable disk metrics, and you can do more like edit computer ID, manage alerts, and then other things too. So on the overview, you can see that you have computer name, you have version, and then you have installed RAM, disk, basically telling you all the information about that server. And you can see that CPU performance live in here. Alright, so this is one thing that you can do. If you click on Azure Hybrid Services, you are actually allowing your on-premises servers to connect with your Azure environment. And that's how you can, once you connect it, that's how you are able to migrate the server to Azure, to cloud, to create backups, to clear alerts, and then apply different security, different options and features that you can get from cloud. So basically, this is how you're connecting this server with the cloud for synchronization, for backup, and a lot of other things like monitoring and so on. Currently, we do not have any Azure environment, so we cannot actually register our admin center or connect the server with our Azure environment. Another thing that you have is like Azure File Sync. So you're basically using this Azure File Sync for caching frequently accessed files for speedy local access. So what you're doing is you're allowing this file synchronization, and then you're able to actually, as you can see here, that I have, let me okay, so in here you have like Azure environment, you have Munich, you have Mexico, you have Seattle. You're basically allowing file sync, and then that's how you are allowing these different offices to quickly access, or like access it in much faster way, those files and other things. So one other thing that you are doing in here is with cloud-based backup and recovery, managing your file servers just became simpler. So you're doing backups and then a lot of other recovery and different things with your file sync. Then you have backup in here. So in the backup, you're allowing backup for the server, so you can do Azure backup, which will protect you from like attacks, disasters. So basically backing up the server or the files into Azure environment in the cloud. So see how simple it is now. So in the past, you didn't have this option. You had to manually do all those things. You had to go through different steps in order to back up into the Azure, but you can now do it in one click. You have certificates in here. You can have different certificates. For example, your alt certificates, stored certificates. So if you remember, you were able to see your certificates through MMC certificate management, and then in here it tells you how many certificates you have, how many of them are expired, how many of them are in the trusted authority. So basically, you don't have to go to MMC certificate manager or certificate management. You're accessing all certificates from here. If you click on devices, it is going to give you the list of devices, like for example, uh, batteries, computers, disk drives, and so on. So basically, you are like having like one computer with like 64-bit PC, and um, you're able to actually update drivers too from here, if you would like. So basically select, and then you can say update driver. So you're managing updates for your drivers through this devices option in here. And you can also see critical. In the critical, it tells you like this isn't critical. The driver for this device is not installed, so this is critical. So basically, you are mitigating different risks in here too, and making sure that all the drivers are up to date and all servers are healthy. If you click on events, it will basically give you different events and logs. For example, application security setup logs. So how you were using them in the past, you had to go through admin tools and then you had to type event viewer, and that's how you were accessing the event viewer. But now you have it in just one click and you're able to see it all. So basically, what is happening in here is that with Windows Admin Center, you have collection of everything in one place. So you don't have to go into different places one by one. So if you click on files, you are basically seeing different files that you have on this file domain controller over here on the server. And then you can see I have C drive, I have the CD drive. Firewall settings, if firewall is off or on, you can create incoming rules, you can create outgoing rules, and so on. So basically in the Windows firewall, if you see here, I was able to in Windows Server, how you were doing was like this. You were going to Windows Firewall, and then that's how it was actually opening the Windows Firewall for you. And then this is how you were actually enabling, disabling firewall settings. But you have that firewall setting in here now, which is very cool. Installed applications, you can see the list of all installed applications which you were actually going through control panel and then checking in there, and then local users and group, which you were going to computer management, and in here you had to actually go, and then you had to go to local groups and uh, users and groups. That's how you were using that. So now you have it here. So how I was doing it, I was going through here, and then for event viewer I was going here, for performance I was going here, for device manager I was going here. So basically I have everything in here. In the network, I can click and then it will give me the details about my network. And then PowerShell. PowerShell is something that you may already know. It is something that you use to create different install applications, or do everything that you do through this graphic interface. You can do it through command line. Processes, like if you right click here, you go to task manager, and then in here you have like more details, and then in here you have different processes. So basically you're seeing it all in there. Services, the storage, updates, everything that you were using, like in a separation, like in a separate way, you have all in here. So basically everything is combined, and you can manage, monitor, maintain a server through one interface. That's what you can do with Windows Admin Center, and I think it is very cool. It's really good for troubleshooting purposes. It is really good to make sure you have a healthy and a stable server running in your environment.